Hello and welcome to my instructional video on web design. In this tutorial, I'll be covering an introduction to web design, web hosting, and WordPress. Before we begin building our site, we must have two things: a domain and web hosting. A domain is the address where our website is going to be located. In this case, www.techandmortar.com is a domain for this website. Next, we need web hosting. Web hosting is where your site lives. It lives in a server somewhere, yes, but who owns those servers? Well, there's plenty of companies out there, and Tech-and-Mortar can provide you with hosting and a domain. And here, you can go ahead and buy your web hosting, and a free domain is provided. Here, you have two options for a hosting plan. You have a starter and a plus plan. The main difference is the starter, you're allowed to host one website. With the plus, you can host unlimited websites. Let's go ahead and click the starter. Here's where you're going to choose the domain. So let's try out www.caetanoproperties.com, and we're going to see if it's available. Looks like it's available. We're going to click continue. And we'll continue with this as well. And I do recommend purchasing ID protection. If you are not a fan of people calling you, offering you services, this is a good option. You pay $20 for the year. So go ahead and check that. Our total is coming out to about $140. You can get 15% off at checkout when you apply the code WELCOME2020. I'm not going to pursue with this, but when you do, you can go ahead and log in. Once you're logged in, look for where you can find cPanel. It should be under your provided services, such as hosting. You can find WordPress on the bottom of cPanel, and all you have to do is click it in order to install it. WordPress is the application we will use to build websites. This is the WordPress dashboard. We will use this dashboard to edit our site. Everything done here is known as the back end of our website. Here, you can control all the functions and features of your website. Any changes we make here will affect the front end of your website. So this is the front of the website. You're going to be hearing me say front end and back end. This is what the public sees, the front end of your website. Up top here, you have options to edit and make changes to your website, such as going back to your dashboard or customizing your page altogether. Let's go back on the back end. On the back end, you have a variety of menus, such as posts, media, pages, comments, etc. Let's take a look at pages. These are the pages that's on your site. So if we look at our site again, this is the home page. Remember I clicked home up here? This is the home page. And if you look at the back end, it looks like we have many pages. And a few of them are offline. You can tell whether it's online or offline by the bars on the side. Now if I wanted to edit the home page, I click on Home, but in my case, I'm using a plugin called Elementor. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open that in a new tab. Now this is Elementor. It's a drag and drop website builder that we can use without having to code. We can add drag and drop buttons, change the color of the button. We can add video. And we can click pretty much anywhere to start editing the text or add new blocks to add text. Once I click update, it'll reflect on my home page for the public to see. Now I'm going to exit that out, and I'm going to exit that out without saving the changes. And let's go back to our dashboard. Next, I want to show you plugins. As I mentioned, I was using the plugin Elementor to make edits to my website. But there are many plugins. There are plugins to give you a form so that people can contact you. There are plugins to provide security services. And there's plugins to turn your website into an e-commerce store, allowing you to change prices and other stuff. But again, as you install plugins, they begin to appear and gives your site more functionalities. Keep in mind, the more plugins you have and the more data on the back end of your website, the slower your website becomes. Thank you for watching our brief video on how to get started with WordPress. Check back soon to see more videos.